welcome to episode 5 of Impacted. And I am your host, Bison, and today I'm joined, as always, by the incredible Joe-Ker.
Good morning.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Do you know, I love the way when I introduce you in such huge fashion that when you come back to me, you're like, "Hey, how's it going?"
It's not an attempt to be smug or anything. I'm like a in the headlights.
No, I love it. It adds to the spectacle that me making a big deal out of it, and you're just like, yeah, well, whatever. I love it.
It helps. My mind's blank half the time, so.
Oh, because of the empty space, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
No, I understand that. Fair enough. Fair dues. Okay, so today we've got a couple of news items that we're going to discuss, but primarily we're going to be talking about talking shop full keg. So, which we have both literally just watched, and we're both sort of kind of like, what the fuck have we just watched? But I've got to say, for me, 5 stars, 5 fucking stars. I loved it. I thought it was great. Before we sort of kind of get into the nitty gritty of it, what are your thoughts initially?
I thought it was hilarious, especially Scott Demore, and it's sort of what I thought if they were to bring Wrestle House into as a regular spin-off type thing.
Yeah,
that's sort of how it would go.
You know, I have to be honest.
Or Madison Rayne, if she was to do like the locker room talk again, and they bring it onto they could do something like that.
All I've got to say is that we'll get into like a little review in a minute, but all I've got to say is that I hope that this becomes a regular thing.
Oh, it's a regular thing. Scott Demore's not going to cancel it after that.
Because that is fucking brilliant. It is brilliant. Anyway, right, okay. So before we get into the nitty gritty of Talking Shop, let's have a little look at some of the news items. We've only got a couple really, nothing major. I mean, obviously, this one is going out just after Bound for Glory, so we're not in a position to talk about any of that because that's not quite happened yet. That's happening in for us 3 days time, because this is Wednesday. So we're going to be looking forward to that. We are going to be doing a full review on Bound for Glory, aren't we, Joe?
Yes.
Yeah, so that should be something for you guys to look forward to. We're certainly looking forward to Bound for Glory, 25th of October. I don't even know why I'm giving you the date because it's already happened. But that's 25th of October, the Bound for Glory, biggest pay-per-view of the year for the Impact Wrestling brand. So we're looking forward to doing that. But a couple of news items. So first of all, we have the official signing of Deonna Purrazzo. Now, we've been waiting for this. I mean, the speculation on this has been going for months and months and months. But it looks like it's now official. I don't think we've actually seen a release from Impact Wrestling with regards to this. But I think the way that Deonna's been kind of praising up the company, the way she's been talking on a recent interview, she was talking pretty much as though she was signed. She's staying there for multi-years. It's exactly where she wants to be.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to be at the best women's division? The Knockouts division is renowned for being the best women's division in the world, always has been. And of course, she's basically saying, I'm now top of the Knockouts division. What more do I want?
Her promo on last night's Impact Wrestling really put her opinion out there for anyone who's doubting her loyalty to the company.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that's exactly. I think it did exactly what he was supposed to do, which was tell the world that she is an Impact Knockout, and nothing's going to change that. She's going nowhere. And I thought that was really good.
Yeah, she said to people, she's had people on Twitter bloody hounding her. She said to them there she's committed. She's going to be there for the long term. She wants to be the next Madison Rayne, the next Gail Kim, and I think she's got the talent for it, and I think it's what we need. We need long-term signings. We've got Rosemary, who's someone she's looking up to, and Taya Valkyrie's another one. So
Yeah.
Jonah Price has got quite a lot of influence as well, of not just Madison Rayne and Gail Kim and people who've been in the past.
Yeah, no, I think it's great, and I think it's been no it's been no secret that Madison obviously brought her in, and so that's fantastic, to see as well that Madison's out there, doing a great job bringing in some of the best knockout or some of the best female wrestlers in the world into the Knockouts roster, making sure that we continue that legacy of Impact Knockout division being fantastic, and renowned as being one of the best divisions, or women's divisions in the world.
It is the best.
Well, it is. As far as we're concerned, it is. We know that there are some great talents out there as well. However, as far as we're concerned, it is the greatest female division in the world. And that's it, as far as we're concerned. I also saw, I've also seen Diana speaking to Chelsea Green a little bit on Twitter.
Yes.
Now, she's not been used a lot on. I don't think she's been used since
March.
No, quite a long time on.
Yeah,
NXT.
it's been since March that she's had a real rant about it. She's really not happy.
Yeah, and
I don't blame her.
Well, she's been posting pictures of her holding aloft the the Impact Championship, and stating stuff like, I got a little bit lost, but I remember who I am now, and all that kind of stuff. I did this is interesting. I did a little bit of a poll, and this was and genuinely, it was not a poll that was on Twitter. It was not a dig at her in any way or shape or form. It was just that I know that there is a lot of mixed feelings about the way that she left the promotion, and that it wasn't, but there was no particular information out there about it. She just sort of kind of disappeared. She just left. She won the title, and 3 weeks later she was gone. So of course, it's bound to cause a little bit of controversy. But I put out a little poll. We got something like, I think we got like 54 or 55% people saying they'd love to see her back. Yeah, and I'm one of them. I quite like the Laurel Von Ness character. I thought it was great. I thought she did a really good job of it, and I was one of the ones disappointed she went when she did. So if she was to come back, anyway, so the poll went out there. There was a lot of a lot of people saying hell no, she fucking shit on us and all that kind of stuff. So I wrote a little comeback, just basically sort of kind of like saying, look, we don't really know what happened. Everybody deserves a second chance, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And she replied. She actually replied. Chelsea Green actually replied along the lines of, I don't deserve a second chance. I actually, I left on good terms and all that kind of stuff. Which I then I retweeted, because I thought, I think there was I think she was replying to me at the hashtag give Chelsea a second chance thing. But yeah. I think it was more, the comment was more aimed at some of the other people that were basically, giving her the diss, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I retweeted it because I thought, hey, fair play. You could look at it two ways. Was it a bit unprofessional of her to reply to that in the way that she did? Or,
no.
Is it a case of like, she just wanted everyone to know what actually happened? I don't know. So anyway, so I retweeted it. Because I thought it was actually quite a good response, and I thought it was cool that she replied to me, to be fair. So that was quite cool. So it'd be interesting to see. I mean, will we see Chelsea Green at some point in the future turn up at Impact Wrestling? I don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe if there's a Matt Cardona run in, on the cards, maybe Chelsea is part of the deal. I don't know.
I think Matt Cardona is as officially signed to AEW now. I'm not sure.
I don't think he has, mate. He did a short run.
Yeah, there was rumors coming around last week that he's now officially gone to it. Well, I'm not taking it in until I see it happen.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a lot of it is rumors. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I think if he's got any sense, he'll go to Impact. But we'll see. I mean, could you imagine if we've got Brian? I mean, Brian's probably been in his ear. His podcast mate, his best friend or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's probably got Brian in his ear. We got the Good Brothers. They're all good friends. He's there. They're all going to be bigging it up. Matt's probably going to have seen the thing that we're going to talk, the show that we're going to talk about tonight, and think to himself, do you know what? Actually, being a part of the Impact's going to be a lot of fun. So I don't know. It could be something for the future. I still believe the Impacts will sign Matt Cardona. I still believe it. I think it's a good move from Impact. The guy's got 2 million followers, for crying out loud. On Twitter. Why would you not bring in someone like that? So there's a lot of buzz. He's got a lot of following. He could bring eyes to Impact. So he's definitely worth a few extra pennies if need be. So, but like you say, maybe Chelsea coming in is part of the deal. I don't know. So there's lots of things that could be happening. Again, this is just my thoughts. I don't know anything. Everything that I'm talking about here is just speculation. It's just stuff that I've seen out and about, and my thoughts on those sort of kind of things that are being said, or different, rumors or news or whatever I've seen. It's not gospel. So don't get just around and say, oh my God, Bison's full of shit.
No, there's someone else who's been. I've been. If you've watched my Twitter feed, I've been trolling Scott Demore and trying to build up Bound for Glory. Casey Spinelli has gotten in touch. Sent me a few likes and that stuff. Some of the stuff I've said, I forgot to mention her in the last one as one of the entrants for the Culture Shock Gauntlet, and I'd love to see her come back.
Yeah, Casey's a hell of a worker. I mean, she's a big, strong girl. And yeah, Casey would be really cool to see, back on the Impact roster. I think you would get some great matches from her. Maybe she could come back as the Undead Bridesmaid alongside a re-emerging Su Yung. Who knows? It'd be interesting. It's not like that character isn't, she didn't make it her own when she took that character on, and she had a couple of good matches, didn't she?
Oh,
so
yeah.
there is options. There is possibilities to bring Casey in. Not even in the Cool Shot Gauntlet, just in the Knockouts general. Like I said, if she comes in as the the right hand lady of Su Yung again, as the Undead Bridesmaid, it could be interesting. I mean, I don't know. I actually see Chelsea Green kind of possibly reigniting some kind of character role with someone like Sue. That would be interesting. I don't know. Just a thought. But I think the Knockouts roster really is so strong at the moment that anybody coming in now has to be damn good to stand out or to shine. So it'd be interesting to see where we go from there, because you can't
anyone coming in is going to get boosted up really quickly. Tasha Steele she was pretty unknown to me when she came in, and look at her now. Yeah, I know she was really, really hot off of Ring of Honor and really, really well sought after there. When she turned down going back to this and she went straight to Impact Wrestling, there was a massive buzz about her coming in straight away, and she's one of the knockouts that's really impressed me since she's come in.
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you what, guys. Please feel free to leave us some comments. Let us know about some of the potential female wrestlers that you think might be able to get involved, or you think is available at the moment to come into the Knockouts roster. Who do you want to see? Maybe who do you want to see turn up on the Knockouts roster? You let us know. Leave us a comment. We love to see your comments. Because at the end of the day, it's all subjective, isn't it? We all like different things, and we love to hear your opinions. So please leave us a comment below. Who do you think, or who would you like to see turn up on the Impact Knockouts roster? Let us know. Okay, so moving on from that, we also saw a story that Daga, the husband of the infamous Tessa Blanchard, has asked for his release, and it's been granted by Impact Management. It did say that they were holding out. I think they possibly sent him a couple of offers. I think they were going to trying to re-sign him, but he's understandably, I guess I'm sure he's got Tessa in his ear. But
no, I think it's just solely down to the pandemic. To be honest, that he's stuck in Mexico. He's not going to be able to get to America and to Canada anytime soon.
Well, you say that, but then if you sign, then you've got yourself a guaranteed paycheck, right? Even if you aren't able to get over.
He wants to wrestle. He's one of these guys that has said in the past that he was itching to get back into the ring, and it's driving him mad not getting back into the ring.
I guess it's interesting to see where it all pans out. But again, I still had this thing in my head that Tessa was going to turn up at Bound for Glory. I still think that might happen. However, the news that Daga is not re-signed sort of kind of makes me think maybe that's not going to happen. So it's starting to put a bit of doubt in my mind on whether I'm right with Tessa. But either way, it doesn't make any difference. The bottom line is, the guy hasn't been on the TV pretty much for the whole of 2020. So is it a real loss to the company considering who we've had coming in and what we've been seeing lately? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I hate to say it's not much of a loss. I thought the route he was going down with Conan was going to really make something of him, but they just didn't seem to really know what to do with him because he's got the talent. It's just everything just fell really flat really quickly.
I think he's very good in the ring. I think he's good in the ring, but I didn't find his personality or his character to be particularly interesting. I found him quite dull, to be honest, quite dull and boring. However, his in-ring stuff was really good. Like, he was really good in the ring, right?
Definitely.
So I think there's a place for him somewhere. Whether he'll probably just continue wrestling with AAA or whoever, in Mexico. I guess we'll end up finding out soon enough. The rumor is out there that maybe he's going to end up on NXT, but that's because so many people think that Tessa's going to end up on NXT. But who knows? We'll just have to.
Everyone wants everyone to. Well, all these guys want people to join the circus. So.
I find it hilarious because they don't support them wherever they are, and then as soon as they come up, it's like, oh, they come to NXT, come to WWE.
Yeah.
And I just think to myself,
shut up, basically.
Shut up, you're a dumbass. If you like them so much, just watch them wherever they're signed. You know what I mean? It doesn't, or does that tell me that they do actually watch them? They just don't like to admit it. They do watch those promotions. They just don't want to admit it. But
there's that tribal mentality.
Yes,
Al Matt Hardy touched on it ages ago. There's this tribal mentality where people are just blindly loyal to one group and shoot down everybody when they go somewhere else. Matt Hardy got it pretty badly when he was in Impact Wrestling, and then when he went to AEW, all the fans were shooting him down from the WWE. But when he went back to there, everyone was treating him like a bloody god. Apart from this man.
It's just ridiculous, for me, it's just ridiculous. So at the end of the day, best of luck to Daga, best of luck for Tessa, wherever they end up. At the end of the day, they weren't, it just wasn't working for Impact. So at the end of the day, best of luck to them. Okay, so that's pretty much the news, really. There's not anything massive around at the moment, based on the fact that we've got it's Bound for Glory. We've got the week running up to Bound for Glory. That's pretty much all that there is. So what I thought we would do, as it is, it is Impact Week, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's Bound for Glory, yes. Impact Week. And again, that was started by us on Monday with Impacted, with our preview show. But then obviously we've had the Impact Go Home show last night, which we have just watched. But following that, there's some interesting stuff on that, by the way, as well. So some nice lead-ins, some nice tag-ins into Bound for Glory. So I'm looking forward to talking about all of that next week, buddy. Really am.
Oh, yeah.
But we had, the very first Talking Shop full keg edition followed Impact today, and that is what is our talking point today. We're going to give a little review, a little rundown on what happened, and I'm really looking forward to that. So here we go into Talking Shop full keg with the good brothers. Let's give it some love. So we opened the show with a great introduction. We had Dave Pencer, was giving it large, introducing the Good Brothers, Karl Anderson, the Big LG. There was lots of crowd noise in the background, giving them on, and Karl was obviously enjoying that. He was definitely used to the big crowd, giving him some love. What did you think of the opening section?
It was pretty chaotic. It took a very, very long time for me to settle down and take note of what was going on. So a lot of it was a bit of a blur. It opened up with a bang and it finished with a bang.
Definitely.
So it's high class entertainment.
It was good, and I think one of the main things that we need to remember is this is entertainment, right? This is entertainment. Right, it's fun. It's a bit of comedy. That it's a bit of banter. It's like having a chat with your mates down the pub. That's exactly what this is. Or in a bar if you're in the US. Whichever, down the pub for us in the UK. And of course, talking about a bit of banter in the pub. Blah blah blah. The whole event, the whole show, was taking part in the Turnbuckle Bar and Grill, of all places. We had memorabilia, walls, obviously the logo for the Turnbuckle Bar and Grill was a wrestling ring, etc. So we had that. So it was basically a wrestling themed bar. What did you think of that?
It technically makes it a wrestling show.
Oh, exactly.
So Scott Dumois can't complain about that.
He certainly can. Okay, so the boys are sat in the bar. They're drinking their beer. We're talking shop. And we get the introduction to Josh. I can't remember his second name, but basically, he is the Talking Shop one-man band. Okay,
this made me laugh.
And of course, we then get the little wink from the Big LG, which hinted, obviously, was alluring to the WWE version of the one-man band, which is fantastic, and obviously I'm expecting that a lot of people gave that a chuckle. Did you?
I was laughing because immediately I saw Heath cross my mind,
yeah,
and
exactly.
what they did to Drew Galloway when he was there and had him going down that route as well. I just pissed myself laughing.
Oh, just for me, one of the worst gimmicks ever.
It was a blatant jab at the WWE, in my mind.
Yes, it was. I mean, it was just picking fun, wasn't it? At the end of the day, it was picking fun, which is fine. So we had a little introduction to this really good guitar stroke singer guy. One-man band, really good actually, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Singing a funny quip style song for the introduction to the show, which is really good. Doc and Karl there giving it the dad dancing, which I thought was a bit funny. And then obviously we get the introduction of the incredible Rocky Romero, because of course we were there thinking, well, yeah, we got the Good Brothers, but the Talking Shop does include Rocky, right? And they didn't disappoint. Rocky Romero turned up, which I thought was fantastic. And does show that, obviously there's something in the water here where, there is some kind, I think it's almost a hint, the fact that there must be some kind of discussion going on here between New Japan, because this is an Impact show. At the end of the day, this is presented and produced by Impact Wrestling, so he's turning up on an Impact show. So there's got to be something going on here between the two companies, which I think is fantastic. And I'll allude to something a little bit later, which I think hints a little bit more at that. So that was great. I love all of the banter, we would call it sort of kind of like, if you're in the locker room giving the lad a bit of stick, about his height, offering him a booster seat and all that kind of stuff, I thought was wicked. And of course, eventually Karl lifts him up to sit on the bar. And I loved the bit that made me laugh the most was the fact that Doc Gallows got down on his knees to talk to him. I felt that was wicked. So there was some real, some ribbon, some stick given there to Rocky, which was great. We then get David Penn's turn up. He does a shot. I think they were hinting that was vodka. I'm pretty sure that was water. But anyway, so Dave Penn's has a shot of water, which was cool, and he has a little talk and da da da. So yeah, it was quite nice to see Dave turn up on there as well. I mean, if you haven't seen my interview with Dave Penn, so make sure you check that out on Bison Talks Impact. That was about a month or so ago. It's some really interesting stuff on there. Dave's a really cool guy. So yeah, certainly worth checking that out. Now, I'm interested in all of this stuff. I'm really interested in your comments, guys. I mean, we're sat here, we're having a laugh. We're talking about it, we're chewing the fat or whatever. Please leave some comments down below. We'd love to know your thoughts on this fantastic show too. Now, so so far, what are you thinking so far?
I'm still thinking, what the fuck is going on? Because I didn't recognize a lot of the guys who were bringing in as well, so it was all really alien to me. But you could, the way Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson were just spontaneously going from one thing to another. You can see they can really think on their feet and improvise as they're going along, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they must have had some kind of sort of basic format that they were working with. But yeah, like you say, everything in between seemed very organic, didn't it? In the way it was delivered. So yeah, I think so far, so far so good. We then had. And I tell you what, I'm going to see if I can find out if I can get some of this. We then had the sort of introduction to the brand spanking new Talking Shop product. So a month or so ago, we had the introduction of the Talking Shop beer. The can is huge. You see how big that can is? It's massive. Even in Doc Gallows' hands, it's huge. Massive.
Yeah. He's massive, and in fact,
it's a huge beer. So I'm going to see if I could get some of that somehow. But they've now got to add to the alcohol, brand. They've got the Talking Shop bourbon whiskey. Now, Tennessee, by the way. No, this is the good stuff. So they bring in the veteran that owns the company and is now a full-fledged bourbon producer in the great state of Tennessee. And they have a little chat with him, and obviously that was interesting as well.
Yeah.
And a big plug for the new bourbon. So I'm going to definitely need to see if I can get hold of that, because I think that I bet it tastes great. So I want to give it a go, mate. What about yourself? Did you like the bourbon?
Oh, I do like a bit of whiskey.
Yeah, I like a bit of the dark stuff. And as they mentioned, so does the boss. The boss likes the dark stuff too. So now it was interesting because, I mean, from my perspective, I watched it on obviously Impact Plus. So we're lucky enough to not get all the adverts and all that kind of stuff. So everything for me just sort of kind of flowed quite nicely. So obviously we had the advert, and then it sort of kind of rolled into what was an advert for Chad Too Bad Dojo. Now, what were your thoughts on this one, Joe?
I had no idea what was going on. It was just like Karl Anderson, I think it was, or in spandex. I thought he was just like mocking New Japan, or mocking where he once was. Not in like a malice way, just literally like just having like they've been doing so far, just poking fun and taking jabs at everyone.
Well, I'm not sure. Have you actually seen the Talking Shop Mania?
No, I've not.
Okay, so you're unfamiliar with some of the characters that are on this show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Chad Too Bad is the Talking Shop Mania champion. Okay, which is Karl Anderson. Obviously, it's an alter ego of Karl Anderson. I really liked the fingers on his spandex pointing to his hips and stuff. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was funny. But obviously, Chad Too Bad being the Talking Shop Mania champion, is now got himself a dojo, and basically letting everybody know if they want to be as good as him, that they need to sign up to the dojo. And clearly he does, taekwondo, karate, as well as wrestling and everything else. So, I thought that was really cool. I mean, when he did the reverse kick into the guy's stomach, sent him flying. I thought that was funny. Because it was such a bad reverse kick as well. But anyway, I thought it was that was good. So we had the advert, which was great. I also want to point out that up to this point, we'd also had quite a lot of plugs for Bound for Glory. So there was lots of mention. I mean, there was one point where they were basically talking about the fact that they were going to leave Bound for Glory as the tag team champs. Yeah. They've already got 2 belts hung up on on their walls at home. They'd like to add a third and all that kind of stuff. So because they were New Japan champs as well as WWE champs as well. So it's great to see that they want to add another one. So yeah, that's interesting. I still don't think that's going to happen. I'm just putting that one out right now. I still don't think that's going to happen. I think Motor City Machine Guns are going to go away with it. Either that or the North. And if the North do, then it's going to lead to a feud between the Good Brothers and the North, which will eventually end up with the Good Brothers winning the title eventually. So, but yeah, what a fantastic show so far. So we also then get, which to me is probably the biggest hint that there is definitely something now set between Impact and New Japan. We then get Rocky, saying, we get Doc sort of kind of alluding to Rocky maybe being in the Cool Shot Gauntlet, saying that there's definitely, Doc allures that he's definitely seen someone, someone backstage and all that kind of stuff. And he's sort of, he's alluring to Rocky maybe turning up at the Cool Shot Gauntlet. Of course, then Rocky's like, well, I can't do that. I work for New Japan. You could see me on New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong on whatever TV channel it was. I can't remember now. But obviously, and then you get the graphic across the bottom and everything, which I thought is fantastic, and the biggest hidden date now that there is potentially a working relationship now set in place between New Japan Pro Wrestling and Impact Wrestling. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's good that it's good if they can patch things up with New Japan. I know things didn't end well between them, so to have them working together, and New Japan are also working with AEW as well. So there's a potential there of guys from Impact and guys from AEW facing off in New Japan.
It could be interesting. I'm not sure. I mean, I know that there was a little bit of a working relationship. I'm not sure how solid that was. We haven't seen anything recently. So the fact that now we've got stuff being said on Impact with regards to New Japan, and they're like even advertising their show Strong, and the channel and everything, would suggest to me that we've now got a fairly solid relationship built between the two brands. It's interesting. I wonder whether New Japan will start advertising Impact on Access on their shows. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this relationship pans out. But I think that is definitely a strong indication that there is something in place. I definitely I can't see there being any other reason for them to do that. What is the benefit to doing that unless there is something in place, right? It's got to work. It's got to work both ways. It's got to be something here. It can't just be to get Rocky on the show. They advertise there. There must be something else. Yeah. Or maybe it was like, well, we want Rocky to come on and do this talking shop. We'll advertise your show, and it was almost like this is a trial thing. Like test the water between the two companies, maybe. I don't know. But what I do know is that unless there was something in place between the two brands, that would never have happened.
Yeah, since the Good Brothers are coming to Impact, or when you see them in the backstage segments, they're always referring to New Japan Wrestling and the fact that they were tag champions there and how they were like what they've done there. And they mentioned AJ Styles at one point as well. So they're bringing up their history of the company there. So they're constantly it's boosting their ego as characters in Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So I think there's something definitely in the works there, or it's something that's going to get everyone buzzing about it regardless.
Eventually, something's going to happen big. I think. In the moment, it's just sort of kind of teasing that there is something in the works, but there's nothing massively concrete. If that makes sense, or that's not what they're not trying to make it look concrete. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We got pandemic. We got the pandemic to work around as well.
Nothing can happen at the moment.
Yeah.
Nothing. So maybe this is a way of sort of kind of like showing New Japan or showing that there is something there now.
Yeah, it's like Scott Demore talking about coming back to the UK.
Exactly. You know, there are plans afoot. There's things that they want to do, but we just got to get rid of it. We just got to get over the pandemic, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
And it's good because it also gives us all something to look forward to as well. So let's just hope and pray that all these things come off. That's all I got to say. So then we move into the guys starting to promo on the Real Gimmicks cartoon.
Yeah, this is Scott Demore started to come out as well.
Exactly.
Scott Demore was losing his shit.
Yeah, this is where the boss turns up. The boss turns up, and it turns out that Scott actually. Obviously the guys were sort of pandering to his ego, getting him over and all that kind of stuff. And they happened to mention that Scott's actually in the cartoon. He's actually got a starring role. He's got big muscles and abs. He's got abs. The boss has got abs. And Scott was impressed with this. This definitely turned him around. And then obviously they ended up running the show, and then obviously they showed the first sort of kind of where they're sort of kind of stood around chatting thing, which was quite good. And then you got Rocky lifting up the boss's shirt to reveal the glorious abs of Scott Demore. Which I thought that was absolutely hilarious. What are your thoughts on that initially? Just that first segment.
I thought it was brilliant. They're not holding back. It's going to be adults. It is adults.
It really is adults. It really is adult only, isn't it?
Yeah, and throughout the whole talking shop, they didn't hold back on strong language. They didn't go overboard, but they didn't hold back. And
it was just not worrying about what you were saying, right?
Yeah, it was like natural conversation throughout the entire thing. And going back to the cartoon that they had, that was just funny as hell.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that they had that they turned the moment that they had where all four of them were sort of kind of stood there talking about that suddenly become the introduction cartoon. So they'd obviously had that specifically done, which was great. And then it's sort of kind of like, we'll roll the footage or whatever. So they then roll the actual episode or I think that was actually an episode of the show. I'm thinking because I'm guessing it's not going to be like mega long because it's all being promoted, it's all being shown on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. It's not and again, but like I said, they could also show it if they have this talking shop full keg every week. They could show the episode with Real Gimmicks on that, couldn't they?
They could do,
which I think would be really cool. But so obviously they show it. And who is introduced and who is pushed? Enzo.
Yes. Yeah. His name got dropped a few times.
Yeah, I mean, his name has been dropped a few times over the last several weeks leading up to BFG. So, yeah. And also they allured to someone backstage possibly being on the Cool Shot Gauntlet surprise. Maybe that's who it is. Maybe Enzo is one of the surprise entrants for that.
That's he crossed my mind.
And it makes sense. It makes sense. He's not signed anywhere. He's a complete free agent. He's doing his thing. He's doing all his other things. He's got his gym. He's because he used to be a boxer as well. So he's got like a boxing/wrestling gym. And he's there for basically, the neighborhood kids or whatever to get involved and all that, which is great. You just, if you spend some time to do a bit of research on Enzo and follow him on social media and stuff, he's actually a really cool guy. And I know that there's a lot of haters out there of Enzo. They're not so keen on him, but for me, I think he's a good guy. He could talk. His in-ring stuff is not as good, as it's not like super strong, but he's a very good personality, and he can go. He can go. In the ring, and he's very good on the mic. You got to admit, the one thing he's
his
good at.
mic skills are fantastic.
He's a talker, man, and he's very good at it. Very, very good at it. And I love the fact that the way that they've written this the gimmicks cartoon is very much taking the Michael, taking the piss out of WWE.
Yeah.
And the boss is Mick. He's got a daughter, and they've got I saw one the other day where they've got sort of kind of like a piss take of Triple H. So there's being basically a suck up and all that kind of stuff. They've got the big man Mick boss or whatever he is sort of like this a crazy angry psychopath, which I think is really cool. But what I liked about it was that Enzo was basically he was just basically being him, bada boom bada bing, and all that kind of stuff, and he was swinging around and showing off to some lady in the bedroom department. And anyway, it turns out that it's Mick's daughter in that. So pound signs, ping, turn up for in Big Doc Gallows' eyes. He's thinking free agent. This guy is banging the boss's daughter. He's definitely going to be a free agent next week. And he's thinking pound signs. What can we do with this guy? And yeah. I mean, obviously you could see that Chad Too Bad wasn't too happy. And I love the Rocky Romero with the face, the mask and everything else, like proper luchador. They make him as this little luchador dude. Which I think is cool. And obviously, Doc is playing his Sex Ferguson character in the cartoon, which is great. But yeah, no, I thought it was great. I cannot wait to see more of this. And I've got to say, guys, if you want to see this, if you want to see more of this show, you just need at gimmicks on Instagram and Twitter, and it's all there, baby. It's all there. The Real Gimmicks at the Real Gimmicks on Instagram and Twitter. So, and I'd like to know again, please leave some comments for us on this. What are your thoughts on the Real Gimmicks? Let us know. Let us know in the comments below. Let us know, guys.
Let me know, especially let me know, because I've not had a chance to sit down and watch it all yet and what's happened. So listening to it now, it's got me brimming like a little Cheshire cat.
Yeah.
And so
it's brilliant. It is brilliant.
Trent was talking about it last night on Twitch as well. He's seen quite a few. He's been laughing his head off about it. So if the boss likes it, then it's got to be good.
It's got to be good, boy. It's got to be good. So yeah, no. So I thought that was great. So but yeah, then like I said, there's lots of Enzo love going on, isn't there? A lot of Enzo love, and I think again, he must be coming. They must have signed him. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with Enzo with regards to Bound for Glory potentially. Now, we then get the booster seat jokes again, which I think for poor old Rocky, they are funny. It is funny, and then we get a little bit of an outburst from Rocky, basically saying, "Look, I'm a married man. I'm 37. I'm married. I've got 2 dogs. I'm not a baby." And I thought that was fun. So, and again, we're getting more plugs. There's definitely more New Japan Pro Wrestling plugs going on with the discussions between Scott D'Amore when the fight that happened in the Tokyo Dome, all these kind of things. So we're getting more New Japan plugs, aren't we?
Yeah, I just listening to them all, I was just laughing so much, and again, it was really chaotic to try and take it all in. So I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah, it's definitely worth 2 or 3 watches, I think.
Try and take it in if I can help myself back from laughing so much.
And then this is the interesting one as well. I don't know nothing about this, but we then get a Rocky Romero video featuring Colt Cabana. So Rocky singing, like a gangster, and we got Colt obviously giving his little bit about that being again Colt Cabana. I mean, there's a little introduction. sort of kind of cameo role, isn't it?
Yeah, I was
Have
quite
Colt Cabana
surprised.
on there as well.
I was quite surprised to see Colt Cabana because he's been on AEW a few times. I thought he was signed there.
No, he's obviously not signed, mate. He's obviously paid per appearance or whatever's going on there, So we get Colt Cabana turn up, featuring in this video, this gangster video, which was really cool. And he's giving his advice to Rocky about what you need to be, a good wrestler and respect and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was quite good. Anyway, just a little snippet of that, which was interesting. Then you get the then you get the little sketch of the guy selling the wrestling merch. And I thought this was awesome because I think that's I don't know whether that was supposed to be Rocky. I'm not sure. That was the mask, very similar to what he wears in the gimmicks thing, and when he does Talking Shop, his alter ego character.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be him selling, obviously, wrestling merch like a drug dealer on the corner. You get the guy come up offering him, what you got, man? What you got? He's like, well, I got some pretty cool 10x7s or 7x10s or whatever, color t-shirts, man. What are you looking for? He said, give us a t-shirt. Give us a t-shirt. He said, that's $20, man. That's 20. I only got 5. Well, shh, don't tell anyone. Out comes the t-shirt, and then all of a sudden, the guy buying the merch reveals himself to be a policeman or a copper, and that's it. He's gone. So then we get the chase, chasing the guy down the road for selling, I guess, bootleg merch. I guess I don't know. What are your thoughts?
It was just gold.
It was funny.
It was funny.
It was funny, and I enjoyed it. I think one of the things is that what for me, because I'm a guy that enjoy my wrestling, I don't take it super seriously. Although you wouldn't think it, the fact that I do all this kind of stuff or whatever. But I liked this kind of stuff. I like it when you see guys kind of almost, taking the piss out of themselves.
Yeah, they can let their hair down and just act natural.
Yeah, I think it's great, and so it's all sort of kind of like parody stuff, isn't it? And I just love it. I just love it. So then we get this the first special guest of the evening, and it's Vernon Love. Comes in. He's dressed as like an Elvis impersonator. Again, this is a Talking Shop Mania guy. This is someone that it's their alter ego gimmick thing that they do, along with all the other guys that they bring in later. I love the big LG. I saw it, wanting him to get his boobies out to see his tattoo and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was hilarious. You've got Karl Anderson making, it's like, whoa, you don't want to touch him, whoa, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we don't shake hands.
No, exactly. I thought that was really funny. And of course, what do we then get? What do we get? We get the boss.
Oh yeah, Scott was back in, and he's losing it.
He's not happy. He's like, what the hell? You promised me guests, guys. It's in your contract. We need guests. We need good special guests. Now, this is not a special guest. He's right. Vernon Love. The reality is, he's not the kind of guest I think that they were looking for. But so the boss is not impressed. I did like the you guys are different. Are just difficult to work with, just like Hall and Nash. Hall and Nash references I thought was brilliant. Because again, I think them have been compared very much to Scott Hall and Kevin Nash in the way that they are as the Good Brothers. I expect that they probably do model themselves on that kind of thing, on those two possibly, which is probably again why they're bringing that up as sort of kind of like a almost like a you could say what you like, but we could say it too, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. Obviously, Scott's not happy about the special guest, so they decide to bring in the rest of the special guests that they got for the night. With the first one being Ninja, I didn't actually catch his name. Was it Lariata Ninja or something like that? I didn't catch his
Something like
name.
that. I didn't catch his name either.
Yeah. But you get the ninja dude coming in with some weird accent. But he was supposed to. I think he was supposed to be Japanese, but it definitely wasn't a Japanese accent. And then Karl Anderson sort of kind of picked up on that. He was like, "What the fuck is that accent?" But anyway, and then we got Laser, which I thought was the Laser comes in, and do you know what? I thought at this point it would have been really funny if if they instead of just calling him Laser, they called him Laserface.
Oh
which is from
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, straight away I kind of thought about that, and can you imagine if they'd have sort of kind of parodied that in a sense of sort of kind of Laserface? What sort of name is Laserface? Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. I thought that would have been quite funny. Anyway, that's just my sense of humor, boys. But yeah, so Laser comes in. We then get Georgie North. Is it Frankie Capone or something like that? I'm not sure on the sort of Italian-y dude. And there was some other guy, and I didn't catch his name either, with the sort of like blonde flowy locks.
I didn't have a clue who most of them were.
I think he was called Scotty or something. Scotty P or something. So we got that. I really liked the Jabbits, Josh Matthews, saying that when he was talking about them being terrible commentators, and what was it he said? Because something along the lines of even Josh Matthews thinks you're terrible. I thought that was brilliant. And again, that's a play on the whole kind of like some people like Josh, some people hate him. I think he's good. Josh is Josh, isn't he? At the end of the day, so I quite like that. I thought that was really, really funny. Now, then we get the next advert of the night, which was the Sex Ferguson selling Chad's hearse. Now, if you haven't seen Talking Shop Mania, you don't really get the reference here, but basically Chad has got a hearse that he, that's his vehicle, and it's got his, Chad Too Bad written all over it and all that kind of stuff. It's a white one. Anyway, so Sex Ferguson's plan is to sell his hearse for $5,000, $5,000, so that he can't actually get to Talking Shop Mania 2 to defend his title, which then means that Sex Ferguson would become the next WrestleMania, Talking Shop Mania champion. Yeah, buddy! So I think that would be great. So that was quite a good impression. Do you think?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. So so I think that's so that was quite good. I quite enjoyed that. I especially loved the 7 or 8 pairs of socks shoved down the front of his spandex to clearly make sure that Sex Ferguson's got a ginormous piece. I thought that was hilarious. But Sex Ferguson for me, fantastic character. And it just makes me die every time. Every time I see him, he's so funny. Doc Gallows, you're a fucking legend. Sex Ferguson, you're a fucking legend. I love it. All this is going on. We get a match. We get a match made up, don't we?
Yeah.
We're going to get basically we're going to get an ounce team of Scott D'Amore, Rocky Romero, and Karl Anderson. They're going to be the ring, the commentators, ringside commentators. We've got Doc Gallows, the big LG, turning up in the ring as the ring announcer, bringing everyone out. And basically we're going to get a battle royale. And then then obviously it cuts to the ring. We didn't know there was a ring there. Well, I guess we kind of did because we saw the Chad thing promo. But to be fair, at that point, I didn't kind of put 2 and 2 together. But we go over. We got. I wish he'd done this as Sex Ferguson. I really wish he'd done this as Sex Ferguson. I think that would have been even funnier. anyway, so we get the introductions. So we get Vernon Love, we get Laser, we get the Laureate Ninja guy, Scotty Bean. That's right, Scotty Bean. That was his name. We get Scotty Bean, we get George North, and then we get the Italian dude, which was Francisco. Yeah, not.
Yeah.
I said it was Frankie something. Yeah, Frankie Capone. Maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe it was Francisco Capone. I don't know. Anyway, so we get those guys initially introduced. Then they get going. Some horrendous wrestling on display. Some horrendous gimmicks. You know, I mean the Scotty Bean dude coming out with his his water beat the bean thing.
His noodle.
His noodle, that's it. Hitting everybody with his noodle, and yeah, it's just mayhem in the ring. And then of course we've got the crazy commentary coming from Scott, Karl, and Rocky, just adding to the hilarities that we see of this worst wrestling match ever. They
wanted to get that trending. Worst wrestling match ever, and worst show ever. They were constantly plugging that, and Scott D'Amore says laughing.
Worst battle royal, I think. Worst battle royal ever. So it was all trending. It was crazy. So as all that goes on, all of a sudden Brian Myers turns up out of nowhere. And gets in the ring, and he's holding aloft a Impact Wrestling toy ring.
Scott's over the moon to see it in the ring.
That was brilliant, and he's like, "Oh my god, look at that! That's amazing! It's amazing." So I'm wondering whether, because I'd heard a rumor that there was possibility of a toy deal being set with one of the indie sort of toy maker promotions that do a lot of the indie stuff. So I'd be interested to see. It means that you'll get it sort of kind of exclusively via websites and stuff like that. It won't be in the shops. Excuse me. Pardon me. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, everyone. So I thought that was interesting. I've heard that. So maybe that's what that's alluring to. Going off that, there is you might be able to get your own Impact Wrestling ring at some point, which would be really cool. And then of course he uses that as a weapon. Which Scott wasn't too happy about, and then he leaves in disgust, which was interesting. We then get Johnny Swinger turn up, of all people, wearing his zebra print, what they call it, swinglet, which is interesting. And it turns out Brian Myers ends up sort of throwing everyone out. But as Swinger is celebrating. We then get Pelvis Wesley turn up. He turns up. He gets in the ring. We get Pelvis Wesley. Just basically pelvis. Giving it the jig, pelvising it around. What did you think of that?
I was in hysterics. Just to see Johnny Swinger come out and clear house and then just be there celebrating, and then you get whatever it is, Elvis comes out.
Elvis Wesley, mate. Elvis Wesley.
He's there, jucking and jiving, dancing around the ring. Swinger's just still there celebrating.
Yeah.
And when he eliminates Swinger, he just pokes him in the back of the head, and Swinger's flying over.
That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. Just a little tap on the back of the head, and Swinger flies over the rope. Absolutely fucking hilarious. And I have to say, absolutely superb. And basically, for the whole segment, of Pelvis Wesley, he doesn't stop dancing and swinging his pelvis the whole time. Even when he gets up on the turnbuckle celebrating, he's wiggling away. I thought it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. What a fantastic finish to the worst battle royal ever, with our winner Pelvis Wesley, which is fabulous. We then obviously see the guys head back over to the bar. And obviously, Pelvis is still giving it the jig. Everything else, of course, we all know who it is, but he's giving it the jig and all the rest of it, the one-man band and all that. And then I loved it when he stopped and Karl's like, oh, "Man, can you do that again? Can you do that again, please?" And he's doing it again, and you can see Karl in the background just pissing his pants. Because it was funny. And then of course Scott rips off his hat, and of course the big reveal was it was Heath, and Heath's plugging for a contract. He's like, "Yeah, man, see, I won, I need a contract." Blah blah blah. I thought that was superb. We then get the hashtag Heath for Impact plug. Scott's like, man, you're in the ring, you're at Bound for Glory, man. What is the matter with you?
Yeah.
You get your contract if you win at Bound for Glory. Job done. And yeah, I thought all of that stuff was really, really funny. What are your thoughts on that?
I had no idea it was Heath until the wig came off. I had suspicion it was when as he started, and then I was just so focused on what Johnny Swinger was doing and what Elvis was doing. And then when Swinger goes over the ropes, I'm just there laughing so much. And then they go to when Scott removed the wig, I was like, oh, it was Heath, and Heath is still trying to argue his case that I need this contract. Contract.
Yeah.
Because you can see the vein on Scott's head coming through. He's getting so frustrated with this whole situation with Heath, and Scott's playing this role.
Yeah.
Perfectly. It's not stagnated.
It was brilliant. For me, I was thoroughly entertained, and I know there's people out there that don't like this kind of thing. They think it's a fucking joke, but I thought, I was thoroughly entertained through this entire show so far. I thought it was fantastic. Now, Scott is still pissed because, as far as he's concerned, there hasn't been a big guest. As far as he's concerned, Ed's gonna fucking fire him.
Yeah, you mentioned Ed.
Yeah, he's like, he's like, I might be your boss, but I've got a fucking boss too. And Ed was mentioned several times. I'm gonna get fucking fired for this. I thought it was really cool that Ed kept getting mentioned on the odd occasion. I thought that was really good. And of course they're like, no, we've got him. We have got the big man. And of course they're referring to the wheeling and dealing, the styling and profiling. Nature Boy himself, Ric Flair, and then all of a sudden, the pink Cadillac or the pink limousine or whatever it was, that arrives, and you get the footage of the Nature Boy walking backwards, styling, profiling, the way he goes, doing the walk. And you're like, wow, the Nature Boy's here, the Nature Boy, oh, fantastic, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we all know it's not really him, but, we're all getting excited. Scott D'Amore's like, yes, he's excited. They're like, well, and then the footage stops, and he's like, well, where is he then? Where is he? And all of that, and then he starts to reveal himself from behind the bar, and again, he's still facing backwards, so you can't see his face. And then he gradually turns around, and you get the lookalike. We get the Ric Flair lookalike, don't we? Go woo!
That was brilliant. Scott D'Amore's reaction, I was perfect.
It's the way that they sort of kind of like pull him over the bar and everything, don't they? They sort of get him over. And what I really liked about it was the way that they were proper hinting at the fact that Ric Flair is a pisshead, and like a proper alky. And he's like just picking up every drink you could see on the bar and fucking drinking it and everything else. I thought that was great. I thought that was such a funny parody of Nature, but he's really good, that guy. He's really funny. And he's just there like, woo, 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 the whole time. That's fantastic. And of course, Scott's not impressed. I mean, he's like, this is not going to work, guys. And I knew you weren't going to do it, so I decided to sort this out, get it all done and dusted. I've booked your special guest for tonight. And then he pulls out his phone in true Sami Callihan fashion and go, boop, presses a button, and the music hits. And who do we get? Who is the special guest?
Big Papa Pump himself.
Big Papa Pump. Scott Steiner turns up in true angry fashion. Of course, we all know of the nature of Scott and Ric Flair's relationship is not the best. I think those two definitely have got. I think they've got real life heat between each other. So Scott was like, "What?" Ric Flair's here, and piles straight in on the fake Ric Flair, starts giving him a beating, being as angry as ever. And they're like, stop, it's not really him. He's like, give me a woo. He's like, woo, no, give me another one. And like, it's not, and he sort of kind of throws him to one side. There was like, that when Impact released the special guest Scott Steiner, there was a lot of people that was giving it a bit of stick on the Facebook page. Like, oh, fucking hell, this is why Impact's so crap. But if you don't watch the fucking show, if you don't watch what how this was done and why it was done in the manner that it was done, you're not going to get it, are you? So you're just missing out, you morons. So it was a really, really I thought it was a really good moment. It was funny, Karl and everyone, they were all like backing off, big Papa Pumps, like whoa. I was, the only thing that disappointed me is I was hoping we would get some Steiner math.
I was hoping Scott would at least do some sort of promo, but he just when of course Ric Flair's there, so he's going to go straight after his target rather than humor everybody else.
Exactly, and I love the fact that they were doing the too sweet thing or whatever it was.
They were trying to get Scott to chant that for them and everything, and Scott was refusing.
Yeah, he's like, man, you fucking stole that. You fucking stole that. Like, and walks off. So I thought that was, I thought it was great. And, Scott versus the Nate. It was a great setup, the way that they did that. And I have to be honest, I never expected Scott. I really didn't. So they did it really, really well. Because I just never expected that. On another note, it's great to see Scott looking healthy and well.
Yeah.
Based on, obviously what happened to him earlier in the year. So it's great to see Scott up and about, getting involved, doing his thing, being big bad Papa Pump. It was great. And I for one thought this show was absolutely hilarious, and I want to see it every week. What about you?
I want to see it. I want to see what they can do. I want to see where they can go.
I mean, there's no reason why, they can't continue doing this, create more stories, create more shows every week. I mean, they could set stuff up. They could film them, every single set of tapings that they have, couldn't they? They could film 2 or 3 weeks worth or whatever. Don't necessarily have to on every, even if it's on every other week or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or, I just think it'd be really good. It's a really, really, it was fun. And like I said, if it wasn't an hour, because it was 45 minutes until, but it's an hour show with it. Maybe it was a half-hour show, with the cartoon on there as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it would be really cool. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
It shows Gallows and Anderson are committed to the Impact Wrestling.
Yeah. So
for one thing, they're doing a hell of a lot of stuff outside the company, including this, and they're still making time to plug the company, boost up, mention all the superstars, have a laugh with everybody, and just keep reminding everyone that this is where they are now. They're not going anywhere.
Exactly, and they've made it very clear. I saw an interview recently where they said that they actually want to retire with Impact Wrestling. This is it. This is their last gig. I know they're signed for 2 years at the moment. I'm hoping that they'll sign for long. Maybe they'll re-sign again, when the time's right. So I just think it's really good. And they clearly are on a mission to make Impact the venue, the place to be for wrestlers now, and the place to watch wrestling. And it's great that we're putting out slightly more edgier content as well.
Yeah.
Lots of different stuff. It's not just all very sort of kind of like regimented, wrestling talk show or, whatever. It's all very, different. They're doing different things.
It's a lot more triggered for the audience of the company. It's
You're
not
right.
It's not like what the WWE have done with all the stuff we've done with their women's division there and all that.
I think the bottom line is, I think the bottom line is they've looked at their demographic, right? Let's talk about the demos. They've looked at the demographics a little bit older, right? The people that watch Impact Wrestling generally are a little bit older. They're more in the sort of kind of 35 to 50 bracket, aren't they? They're a bit older. They're like us. They're about our age, right? We're the guys that generally watch, and are proper fixated on Impact Wrestling, and they're producing for that age range. And this is a prime example of that. And I think Talking Shop, Full KEG, it needs to become a regular thing because I think it's absolutely hilarious. I mean, they could maybe do it as a season thing, maybe like set of 12 episodes or something. Then
I'm sure
give it a break.
I think it's definitely going to be a weekly showing. So
but season it so you get maybe 12 episodes, and then you have a break for 3 months, and you get another 12 episodes. That kind of thing. So that because if it goes every week, you are eventually it's eventually gonna come very samey, isn't it?
Yeah, they're going to run out of ideas.
Yeah, you want to watch that. You want to have a season of it. Enjoy it, then have a little bit of time to miss it, and then want to watch it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that potentially this is going to be freaking awesome, and I got to say I loved it. I loved the whole singing out of it as well. When they all start singing the song and everything.
That was fantastic. I mean, even Scott Demore was just committed to it then as well.
Everyone was joining in. It was great. So yeah. So there you go, ladies and gents. That is, that pretty much is our preview of, our review, shall we say, of the very first Talking Shop full keg. I loved it. What about yourself, Joe?
I'm gonna have to watch it again. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna have to watch it again, try and take it in a bit more, because it was so I was watching it literally about half an hour before we'd come on.
Yeah.
So it was very, very last minute for me, but I'm gonna have to watch it again.
So, again, it came on after Impact Wrestling on AXS TV, but it's also available on the Impact Plus app. So I'm not sure, because I've got the paid version, I'm not sure if it's available on the free version. I don't know. But it was definitely available on my version. So, make sure if you've not downloaded the Impact Plus app that you get that done. Because trust me, there's so much cool shit on there now. And more is happening. The content is improving all the time. We're now definitely going to get the Impact Plus specials every single month. Fresh new content. So it's definitely worth, getting the Impact Plus app. I can't stress that enough. I love it. I know that Joe loves it as well. And all of my wrestling friends that have it love it. It's definitely worth getting. We've got so much stuff on there, including indie promotions as well as Impact, as well as back catalogs for TNA. Get Impact Plus, guys. It's well worth it because now, as long as this, I hope this goes weekly for a while, but hopefully this will turn up every single week. It's certainly on there. This one is certainly on there. The special is certainly on there. So definitely get it on there. Maybe we might even see real gimmicks turn up on there at some point. Who knows?
Who knows?
So yeah, definitely worth getting. Now, all that's left to say, guys, is please leave us a comment. We love reading your comments about all the things that we've discussed today. With the Daga thing, with obviously Daga release. The knockouts. What are your thoughts on the knockouts? Because, like I said, it looks like Deanna's definitely re-signed that, or definitely signed now. We're also talking about the potential of Chelsea Green or others. It might be able to come into the knockouts division. Casey Spinelli, we were talking about.
James Storm. He's giving me some love as well.
Okay,
J-Bone was talking about Ric Flair. Is a massive Ric Flair is bleeding. I said to him, nobody bleeds like Ric Flair. But
no, exactly.
Then I said, James Storm and Shawn Michaels come along, tap me on the shoulder. James Storm says, hold my beer, and Shawn Michaels gives me a sweet chin music, and James Storm was just laughing his head off.
Yeah, I think that James Storm would be an amazing addition now. I think it's I keep thinking to myself that we need a faction on the show.
The Good Brothers a good one to start off with, and then see where he goes from there.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the Good Brothers could. Maybe James Storm could get involved with the Good Brothers. That's the interesting thing. He's beer swilling.
Yeah.
Country loving. He's the man. Maybe that there is the common ground there. He's a beer swiller. I don't know. But I don't know. I see the potential of bringing James back as the leader of DCC again, because I don't believe that the DCC went where it could have done. It had so much potential, but TNA did nothing with it, and I think Impact could do loads with it. So, that's me. That's just my thought. Give me your thoughts. Leave us a comment. Let us know. What do you think about the potential of James Storm coming back to Impact Wrestling? Maybe bringing back the DCC faction. Who knows? Could something like that happen? I honestly believe that would be amazing. Along with, the introduction of some of the cool knockouts out there. Let us know, who are the knockout? Well, sorry, who are the female wrestlers out there today that are free agents that you think would be great to join the Knockouts roster? Now, just remember, guys, the Knockouts roster is so good now, right? It's not going to be easy for anybody to just walk into that locker room, and be amazing just straight off the bat. It's not going to be easy. So who would you put in that division? Me personally, Lufisto would be straight on there. She's hard-hitting woman. She's an amazing athlete, amazing wrestler. Lufisto is straight being there for me. Joe's mentioned Casey Spinelli. I think also Killer Kelly would be great.
Yeah. Alexa Nicole, it'd be nice to see her again as well.
Alexa Nicole would be interesting. I'm not sure where she would fit in it, though, to be fair. We've already got Alicia being the sort of kind of, the pike size wrestler. Because, Alexia, although she's very good, she's small. Can you imagine her getting in the ring with Taya Valkyrie?
Well, she can go with Kira Hogan, go with Kylie Ray.
Maybe. But like I say, we still have quite a few pint-sized wrestlers there already, don't we? So I don't know. But, if that's who you think, Alexia Nicole, if you think Alexia Nicole would be a great fit to let us know. Leave us a comment. Let us know your thoughts. We're interested to find out. Remember, whatever we think is just our opinion. Just one pair's opinion. My opinion, Joe's opinion. That's all it is. Let us know your opinion. We love to talk Impact Wrestling. So please leave us a comment. Don't forget to leave us a thumbs up if you like what you saw today. Definitely need a thumbs up, as many thumbs up as possible. That helps us, turn up on as many timelines as possible. Don't forget to head over to We Talk Impact or Total Nonstop Impact. Those guys, that's where we hail from. TNI UK. We hail from Chicago, baby.
Yeah.
Total Nonstop Impact YouTube channel. Don't forget to head over there, give us a sub, smash the bell. Remember, that way you'll never ever miss any of the new fresh content that comes out every single week. I think pretty much every single day of the week now has got something going on.
Oh yeah, stacked, especially for the build up to Bound for Glory on the week afterwards. They're going to be stacked.
Oh, we got so much stuff going on. We have, at the end of the day, you have the live Total Nonstop Impact review show, which goes out, I think, half an hour to an hour after the actual show airs in the US and AXS. So if you're an American listener, don't forget to go and head over to that. Check that out. If you're a UK listener and you're up at that time of the morning, good luck to you. Enjoy the review show. If not, it does get a repeat, so, you will get to see that. We also, on every single sort of podcast outlet that you could think of, Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, iHeartRadio, to name but a few. So wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, we are there if you just want to listen to the audio only. But yeah, so we got a lot going on, guys, a lot going on. Where can we find you on the socials, Joe?
You can find me at Joe-Ker Empty Space on Twitter. So chat me down there. It's the best place to find me, and then we'll see where we go from there, guys.
No worries. Of course, you do pop up on Facebook from time to time as well, don't you, bud?
Oh yes. You got to follow the Empty Space.
If you hashtag Empty Space or the Void or something like that, I'm pretty sure Joe will turn up. So if you want to follow him on Facebook, please feel free. If you're looking to follow me, the Bison, I'm pretty active on Twitter more than anything, as my wrestling persona, the Bison, at Lord Bison 45. Please give us a follow. Like I said, I love interacting. I love talking Impact Wrestling. It is my favorite wrestling product every week, without shadow of a doubt, and I love what they're doing at the moment. So please head over, give me a follow, give Joe a follow, go and sub the Total Nonstop Impact channel. so you never miss anything of our great content. And if you like the show, if you've enjoyed the show, if you've enjoyed the show, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up.
I'm getting into your head again.
You are. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment below on anything that we've been talking about. So this has been our review of Talking Shop Full KEG. On the show, I've been Bison. That's been Joe. On our show, Impacted.